Today, we're diving into the complex and chilling life of Theodore Robert Bundy, one of America's most notorious serial killers. Born in 1946, Bundy was intelligent and charismatic, traits that helped him lure victims and evade capture for years. Bundy's criminal activities span the 1970s, with an estimated 30 confirmed murders, although the actual number might be higher. He targeted young women, using deception to gain their trust before committing horrific acts. His ability to manipulate people and appear charming has led many to study his psychological profile as a quintessential example of a sociopath. The investigation into Bundy's crimes highlighted various law enforcement challenges, including communication gaps between jurisdictions. Ultimately, his capture came through a mix of forensic evidence and citizen tips after a series of escapes. While the terror he inflicted was profound, Bundy's story also opened discussions about law enforcement techniques, the legal system, and victim support services. His trial became a media sensation, raising awareness about the complexities of mental illness and criminal behavior. In conclusion, Bundy's life and crimes remind us of the darker aspects of human nature and the importance of vigilance in our communities. Understanding his story is not just about the horror, but also about learning how to prevent such tragedies in the future. Thank you for watching, and stay informed. Initially arrested in Utah in 1975 for kidnapping and aggravated assault, Bundy became a suspect in a growing list of unsolved murders across multiple states. He faced charges of murder in Colorado and orchestrated 2 dramatic escape attempts, committing further assaults, including 3 murders, before ultimately being apprehended in Florida in 1978. He received 3 death sentences in 2 separate trials for murders in Florida. Ted Bundy died in the electric chair at Rayford Prison in Stark, Florida, on January 24, 1989. Biographer Ann Rule characterized him as a sadistic psychopath who derived pleasure from the pain of others and reveled in his dominance over numerous victims, even to the point of death. He once referred to himself as the coldest heart you will ever see. Prosecutor Polly Nelson, a former member of his defense team, concurred, describing Ted as the ultimate definition of absolute evil. Bundy, born Theodore Robert Coyle on November 24, 1946, in Burlington, Vermont, to his mother Eleanor Louise Coyle, 1924–2012, spent the first 3 years of his life living with his maternal grandparents, Samuel and Eleanor Coyle, who presented him as their son to avoid the social stigma associated with his illegitimate birth. Friends and family were led to believe that Bundy's grandparents were his parents, and his mother was his elder sister. Eventually, he discovered the truth. He informed a friend about a cousin showing him a copy of his birth certificate denoting him as illegitimate, yet he told biographer Stephen Massoud and Hugh Ainsworth that he had found the certificate himself. True crime author Ann Rule, who knew Bundy personally, believed she had located his original birth record in Vermont in 1969. Bundy expressed lifelong resentment toward his mother for her dishonesty regarding the true nature of his birth, leaving him to uncover it independently. Life. Born in Vermont in the United States into a devout Catholic family, Bundy was, by his own account, an intelligent and shy child with few social connections. He enrolled in the University of Washington Law School in 1968. Bundy is considered one of the most notorious serial killers in American history. He was handsome, charming, and well-educated. His birth name was Theodore Robert Coyle, adopting the surname Bundy from his mother's husband. He was raised by his grandparents, who convinced him that they were his parents, and that his mother was actually his sister, since she was not married and just 22 when he was born. Has anyone ever wondered what the very first crime in history might have been? While we can't pinpoint an exact event, historians often refer to the biblical tale of Cain and Abel as an early example of murder stemming from jealousy. From there, crime evolved alongside civilizations, with theft becoming a common offense in ancient societies. The establishment of laws, such as the Code of Hammurabi around 1754 BC, marked a crucial development in how societies addressed wrongdoing. The reasons behind crime have typically revolved around economic disparity, social injustice, and psychological factors. While early punishments were harsh, like public shaming or exile, today's criminal justice system focuses more on rehabilitation, although challenges like recidivism and systemic bias persist. Understanding the origins of crime can provide valuable insights for creating a more effective legal system and promoting social change.
On the fateful day of August 16, 1975, Ted Bundy's life took a momentous turn when he was caught in the act of a petty theft. Little did anyone know that this seemingly ordinary criminal encounter would result in the apprehension of one of the most notorious serial killers in American history. After a week-long trial that delved deep into the dark recesses of Bundy's twisted mind, he was eventually found guilty and sentenced to 15 years in the Utah State Prison. It was during this trial that Bundy uttered his chilling and spine-tingling proclamation, forever imprinting his presence in the annals of criminal history. "We serial killers are your sons, we are your husbands, we are everywhere, and your children will be dead by tomorrow." These ominous words echoed in the minds of terrified citizens, revealing the devastating reality that evil can often be hidden behind the facade of normalcy. Little did society know that Bundy's capture was just the tip of the iceberg, as the sheer maw.
In the not-so-distant future, the concept of escaping from the pressures of everyday life is taking on a whole new meaning. With the rise of virtual reality experiences, we are on the brink of a revolution in how we perceive escapism. Imagine being able to transport yourself into a completely different world, custom-made to fulfill your deepest desires, where all your stress and responsibilities simply melt away. But these virtual reality environments are not just for leisure, they are also being used for therapeutic purposes. Individuals suffering from anxiety or post-traumatic stress disorder can find solace in exploring calming landscapes or engaging in guided meditations in safe, controlled spaces. The potential for these virtual escapes to provide much-needed relief is immense. However, there are challenges that must be addressed. One major issue is accessibility, ensuring that these experiences are available to all who could benefit from them. Additionally, there is the risk of addiction to these virtual getaways, which could potentially outweigh the positive effects they provide. Another emerging trend in the quest for escapism is the phenomenon of the second home. More and more people are opting to work remotely in serene locations far away from the hustle and bustle of urban life. This trend encourages a healthier work-life balance, but it can also blur the boundaries between professional and personal time, leading to new forms of stress as individuals struggle to find a balance between their professional responsibilities and their desire for personal rejuvenation. At the end of the day, whether through virtual experiences or physical retreats, the goal of escapism remains the same: to seek out sanctuary and rejuvenation amidst the chaos of life. In our increasingly complex and fast-paced world, it is more important than ever to prioritize our well-being and actively seek out healthy forms of escape that enhance, rather than inhibit, our everyday experiences. With the evolving landscape of escapism, the possibilities for finding solace and rejuvenation are expanding, allowing us to navigate the world with a renewed sense of peace and balance. Death sentence. Bundy was arrested once again, and this time sentenced to death by electric chair. The sentence was carried out on January 24, 1989, after he was found guilty of 40 homicides. Anyone who committed serial killings is abnormal in his mind and morals and should be executed without mercy because he made many people very sad. I hope you liked the story, and if you liked it, like, subscribe and comment. If you want to talk about a specific story, write to me in the comments the name of the story and I will tell you immediately. Goodbye, my friends.